Good afternoon, it's Lindsay. It's July 2nd, 2024, and it's Tuesday, and I wanted to just talk today some more about, narcissistic abuse and hoovering and whatnot. And so, some more things that are going on in my life, basically is that I not like anybody cares, but except myself. But being a targeted individual and whatnot, it definitely it comes in phases. Like sometimes it's a lot more intense than other days. But what happens whenever, like such as in my case, is whenever I have called these narcissistic individuals out for their behavior, for what they've done. That's exactly how you really piss them off, is by calling them out for what they're doing, and so that embarrasses them and humiliates them because what that is that's called a narcissistic injury. And so little things like some red flags whenever you're in these relationships is that, number one, you're going to get, and I'm going to reiterate this because I've talked about this before, and I know that I tend to kind of jump around as far as like my topic. I mean, I'm not exactly, I can't decide if I want the light on or off. I don't exactly stay in a coordinated manner when I speak. I know that, but whenever you've been conditioned and traumatized by a narcissist for so long and humiliated by this conditioning program that they're doing, you kind of just sort of become almost like a shell of who you used to be. And this is something that other survivors of narcissistic abuse understand, is that you literally become so fragmented by your experience that you're kind of traumatized, and you literally sort of are kind of like like they say, like you're sort of a shell of who you may have been at some point, and they know that. These people doing this know that. And so what they'll do is, like I said, whenever you call them out for who they are, and you tell them, and you literally, like, you're not afraid to confront them and tell them exactly what you think they are, such as like a jerk or an asshole or a pig or a narcissist. I haven't, or something along these lines. If you actually say, and by the way, don't call them out for, don't never tell a narcissist that they're a narcissist, because that really is it's not such a good idea, because they really, really, really try to keep these things very covert, but most of them are very overt about it without even realizing it. But the one thing you should not do is tell them to their face or via text messaging that you're a narcissist. But I have gotten into some very horrible abusive texting back and forth over the past year with a specific person who was using a lot of manipulations and coercive abuse and gaslighting, and let a lot of things to try to, like, mentally fuck with me and psychologically torment me and punish me and shame me and guilt trip me and humiliate me and things like this. And so whenever it's going on, you become so accustomed to it that you sort of just accept it. And that's part of the conditioning that these people do. They know who they are. They know what they're doing. And don't think for a minute that they don't know what they're doing, because they certainly do know what they are doing to their victims. And yes, you become a victim of the abuse to the point that you literally, you lose your identity. And that's part of the game, quote unquote, of these people, is for you to become so traumatized and scatterbrained and psychologically abused that you literally lose your personality, you lose your identity. It's like identity theft is how you feel after you're involved with these people. And I don't quite know how to explain this very well unless you yourself have experienced it, because people who have not experienced this kind of thing don't understand it. And so some things that they'll do, okay, they'll text you, right? And they'll say things like, I need you. I really need you. And then, if you don't respond, like, I'll just ignore it. And then I respond later on in the day. But they're always, they only need you because they want something, right? It's not because they really care about you or how you're doing. No. They need you because you do something for them. They only need you because they are used to exploiting you and using you for something that you have provided for them, of which they know what they're doing, and they know that they're taking advantage of you and basically using you like a doormat, whereas they would probably treat other women, in my case, this man would definitely treat other women a lot better than me, okay? But with me, he seems to think that I'm an object that he can fucking step all over, traumatize, exploit, mock, mirror, things like this that they do. They'll come into your life and they'll mirror you. They'll start, acting, they mock you, they mirror you. This is all part of their game plan, or their it's like they have a book that they all seem to, like some sort of an instruction manual or something, is what it seems like, because I've seen the same sorts of patterns in other individuals I've been involved with, but this is dragged out for more than a year with this particular person who clearly is hiding secrets from me, because this man never allowed me to go to his home. They have a double life, and they don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know that they're hooking up with other women, that they go to a bunch of different motels, that they have a whole kit of supplies in their little supply box. And this is the truth. They're going to lie to you. You'll call them out for it, and you can tell that whenever you're around them that there's something going on. You can sense it, and you can see in their behavior that they're lying to you. Like, if you look at them in the eyes and ask them things, and they won't be able to look at you in the eye, they'll redirect their eye contact, or that you can see that they feel ashamed or guilty, and they'll change the subject. For example, whenever you catch them in an outright lie, because they know that what they're doing is wrong. They know that they've lied to you. They know that they've cheated on you. But see, here's another thing. This is what they do. This is what these men, or women, I guess, as well, will do. They'll get with you initially, right? And you two end up, having some kind of relationship, intimate kind of relationship sort of thing, whatever. And you'll notice that these men, they don't reciprocate any kind of intimacy. They don't ever try to show you intimacy. They don't care about pleasing their partner. They only care about what you can do for them. And then you can clearly see that there's something going on in that arena, in the intimacy department. And so it's a form of punishment. It's a form of them devaluing you and humiliating you and making you feel bad about yourself, when in fact, this is the kind of thing they do. It's like whenever somebody doesn't reciprocate at all in any sort of an intimate way, when you're the one doing everything for them, you know what I mean? Like, then it feels really awkward. It makes you feel dirty. It makes you feel ashamed. It makes you feel humiliated, degraded, used, confused, because it's all about confusing you as a target victim. And you'll feel that these people, these men, because in my case it's men who I've only been involved with men, but you'll feel that there's something really off about this relationship, or I guess you could even call it a transaction ship, because it's not really real. You'll feel that there's something off, and what they'll do is you're never going to be anything but a friend, and then they'll always say, well, you're my good friend, or you're a friend, I care about you, you're my friend. And so what they want to do is, because these men are players, right, and they do the same thing with other women, is they have to make sure that, because they don't ever want to have you as anything but a friend, because they have to have their status of being single, because that's how they're able to garnish all their multiple supply sources. Is you are always going to be nothing but a friend to them. Whereas with someone else who they're dating or grooming, conditioning, whatever, that person is going to be more than just a friend. They're going to be completely different. They're going to completely wear a different mask around other people, okay? You're a specific type, okay? You are the homebody person. You have a schedule. You're very regimented. Okay, so they know that about you, and that they already have their whole abusive tactics tailored to meet your personality. Whereas with someone else, oh, she's the party animal who likes to drink and go out and dance and things like that, and drink alcohol and party. So they have fun with that person, okay? That's the other person who they're grooming / using or whatever, okay? That's their other supply. They have multiple sources of supply. Don't ever think for a minute that when you're involved with these individuals that put on an act for you, they put on a different act for someone else completely different, okay? They basically, they are gonna mold their personality and try to, like a chameleon, become who they think you want them to be, or who does this make sense? They're basically mirroring you, and that's not really at all who they are, okay? It's all an act. It's a bad acting on their end. It's horrible acting because you can see through the bullshit from a fucking mile away, so it's really bad acting on their end, but you see clearly what they are doing because you feel it. You have, your senses are heightened, your intuition is really kicking in and hard drive, and you're like, what is it exactly about this person? You can't quite put your finger on it. You're like, well, okay, are they married still? What is it exactly? You're not 100% sure, but you know that there's just something that's completely off, whether it be that they're bisexual, they're on the down low with these men. A lot of these men are, who are kind of not transgender, metrosexual type men. You can tell that they're bisexual. They might be on what they call, the down low, or whatever the fuck that's called. That means to say that they are with women, but they really are into men, right? That's called on the down low, and that's something I had never heard about until I had watched other videos about narcissistic abuse, and I realized, well, I had been with some men who I think fit into that category of being on the quote-unquote down low, which means that they are with you, but they're also with men. Okay, that means that they're with women, and they have a quote-unquote girlfriend or significant other, or maybe even a wife, but they're with men as well. Which means, obviously, that they are probably misogynistic, and they're probably closet gay, or they're bisexual, but they don't want to, obviously, tell you that. They're trying to keep that a secret because, why? Most likely because of their culture. It's a taboo in their culture, or they don't want anybody to know because they feel ashamed. And you'll see this. This is something that I have actually experienced a few times. And it's very odd because they'll be they treat you like they hate you. Like they want to touch you, and they're all touchy-feely with you physically, but it's fake. It's not genuine, like a genuine kind of feeling that you have around these people. You can feel that it's very transparent. It's very not real. It's very much an act on their end. And so they're trying to tie you in by a trauma bond, by getting you to hook you into their game of manipulation. And I assure you that the longer you are involved with these individuals who do this, the worse it's going to get, okay? They'll come back. You might discard them, or they discard you multiple times, and they'll come back multiple times to hoover you. And if you keep on letting them back in when they hoover you, they're going to, I assure you that the trust is already gone, right? You already know that you don't trust that person. You already know there's something wrong. So that's already gone out the window, right? You don't trust them. So the communication is off because you already know that they've cheated, they've lied to you, right? So you're like, you start, and whenever whenever you keep letting them back in to your life, when they hoover you, and you already know what they're about, you've already fucking, the mask is slipped, so to speak, with these individuals, it's going to get worse. It's not going to be any better. It's going to get worse. It's going to just keep getting worse and worse and worse for their target who they're grooming. And I think one of my main points that I'm trying to make here is that if you really have a feeling about somebody, some kind of, I don't like this, if you really have some sort of a strong hunch about somebody, a gut feeling about somebody's behavior that you find bizarre, or that it's probably best to realize that is your inner voice of God or whoever. Your intuition is really most likely trying to warn you that this person is toxic, that they are not good for you. All the warning signs are there, but you keep ignoring it, right? Because you're like, I want to keep playing with the devil, playing with fire, or you're going to get burned. But they're demonic. There's something very demonic about these people. It's like we all have bad sides and good sides, but these people literally, it's like they're out to destroy. They hate you for who you are. They hate you, and they're going to reveal it in ways that are subtle yet obvious that they don't like you. Okay, that they don't like you. They hate. They're envious of you. They're jealous. They feel like you have it easy compared to them. They basically want to destroy you, is what it is, and especially after you have yourself caused them a narcissistic injury, they are going to make sure that they wreak havoc into your life is in many ways that they can. They're going to do a smear campaign, most likely. They're going to get their family involved, their exes, shall I say. They're going to triangulate you with their coworkers. They're going to triangulate you with your own fucking neighbors if they can. Anything and everything to make you feel inadequate, unworthy, ugly, a failure. Yes, they will do this because they have so much animosity, so much deep-seated animosity towards you at this point that it's almost like it's a lost cause. You already know that, like, this is going nowhere. First of all, you're not even you're just a friend, even though you've done things with this person that you wouldn't even do with your own boyfriend or husband, but you're a friend, and you're never going to be anything but a friend to them. You see, these are some major setbacks and red flags to any kind of normal, healthy relationship which has boundaries and respect. When they have already violated your boundaries via invading your boundaries, like personal space, and then you know that, wait a minute here, who are you, and what are your intentions with me, and who are you? You'll ask yourself these questions. You'll even ask them, who are you? And you'll start accusing them. You'll start doubting. It gets to the point where you start doubting your own sanity. They've done so much gaslighting that you really start to doubt your reality. And that's part of it. That's part of it. The crazy making is to make you, the target, make you doubt your own reality to the point that you look crazy. They flip it onto you and making it where, in fact, they're the ones doing it. They're the ones who are surveilling you. These are the individuals who are so insecure that they probably have hacked into your phone. They do these kinds of things because they have a lot of insecurities. And they think that, well, this person is an easy target because they're vulnerable. You're probably a good person. You're probably a good, decent person who respects people's privacy and has boundaries, and you have morals of which these people violate. They violate your boundaries to the point where you're like, get the fuck away from me. You'll even, You get so mad at these people, you will go off. And I have been in a situation where I've been so angry that I have never in my life talked that bad to anybody ever, okay? As with these people will push your buttons so fucking much that you will find yourself saying things and getting so angry that you don't know where it's coming from, but you know that that person is doing it. The other things in your life were okay until they came around, started surveilling you, exploiting you financially, sexually, whatever, stealing your identity. Basically, you feel like, it's like, it's very toxic. It's very toxic, and it's very much like they're very needy. They're very demanding of your time. They're very impatient. They're extremely critical of you. They're very demanding, and they're very mean. Like, once you really get to know them, you'll see that they've got a real mean side, and they bring that side out in you. Trust me, these people are sent by some kind of demonic force to bring out the absolute worst in you. They will, and you'll find yourself questioning everything, questioning, who are you? Who am I? Like, what am I doing with this person? And why am I doing this? And what's wrong with me? Because that's what they want you to do. They want you to be so confused and overwhelmed that you're just like, you're constantly doubting your reality. You're doubting your own individuality. You're doubting who you are. And this is all very demonic. It's very evil, but trust me that this is something that they know what they're doing. It's not on accident. It's not good. There's nothing good about it, because in the end, these relationships they don't last. Okay, you think that it's all good, smooth sailing, that this person is in love with you or that they really like you. No, they don't. They don't have the ability to form a true bond or connection with somebody, because they're still so traumatized by something from their past, whether it be their childhood, the ex-wife who they say is an ex-wife who they're probably still married to half the time, or the ex-girlfriend who they're still in contact with. There's always somebody who they're not over, and they're using you as a safety blanket until they find what they think they're looking for, right? Because you're just somebody who they can kind of this person is so, that's what they're doing. And this is what they do to a lot of their victims, targets, whatever. And it's evil. It's evil. It's demonic. And it's something that they are skilled at doing because they have so much experience doing this to people. And they try so hard to hide who they are. But once you see it and start calling them out for it, like I said, that's when the shit hits a fan, cliche as that sounds. That's when you really see who you or what you are dealing with, what you are, the kind of individual you are trying to understand. But no, it's going to get worse. Doesn't get better. And once a cheater, always a cheater. Once a liar, always a liar. Once a player, always a player. You need to be careful when you think you're dealing with somebody who, they might not be a full-out narcissist, okay? I'm not one to diagnose, because I don't even believe in that shit anyway, but I do believe that whenever you see patterns of narcissism, you can say that, yes, this person definitely has some of these characteristics that are undoubtedly very narcissistic. So you could probably go ahead and say that they're either a borderline, maybe undiagnosed bipolar, some kind of personality disorder, a lot of narcissism, or antisocial. Something is off where they're using you and mistreating you and abusing you, mostly via coercive abuse. And it's about control. It's about domineering the target, using you, scapegoating you, isolating you from people who might try to genuinely care about you. This is what they do. And you're going to find that you just feel, whenever they're around, you just start to feel like, I don't even want to see you. I don't want to have anything to do with you. You make me feel drained. You make me feel exhausted. You're fucking using me and mocking me, mocking my music taste, mocking the way I dress, everything about me. And that's what they do, and it's all done by design. Don't think it's on accident, and certainly don't think that it's a coincidence. And yes, I speak from a lot of experience with these types of men. So let that be the video for today. Just guard your heart, guard your emotions, because those things are precious. And your intuition. If it's speaking to you loudly and clearly, like, try to really not ignore it, like, and put it to the test like I tend to do, because you're going to get hurt, you're going to get crushed, and you're going to find yourself so... That's what they want, but usually you're very resilient, and that's what they can't stand about you, is that you get back up even though they push you, and you get back up, and you're very resilient. So keep your confidence about yourself, and try to not let them get to you, as silly as that sounds. You do have to try to go no contact. It is best to block them and things like this, but I know it's hard when you're in certain situations where you feel obligated. They make you feel obligated. They make you feel like they try to force codependency on you by making you feel, they'll do all kinds of things to make you feel obligated to certain things that they're accustomed to, and in which you realize it when it's like toxic. It's like, well, what are you getting out of it except feeling degraded, used like an object? And if that's how you feel every time you're around this person, that you literally feel like then it's really not a genuine, caring relationship. It's not. It can't be, because that's not the way a real trusting, communicative relationship operates. If they're just using you for something physical, and they treat you as such, they don't take you out on a date, they don't take you to anywhere, you don't know any of their friends. No, big red flags that you need to look out for. If they block you on social media, or they defriend you on social media because they don't want you to see their other supply, and they're still on a dating site even though you've been with them exclusively for a year. You have, but they're not. No. You see, they realize how stupid you are. They're like, well, if this person keeps on taking me back, even though I've lied to them and been with other women, and or men as well probably, and you keep letting them back in your house, you keep letting them do the abuse, they're going to keep on amping up the abuse more and more, because they are like, this is an easy target. Look at what I get away with. Look at what I get to do to this person. Meanwhile, I've got Betty Sue over here, or Jackie G, or Jessica, or Alicia, or who else? Sylvia. I don't know what other names, but they've got multiple supply of which they're actively involved with at the same time as you. Trust me on that. You're never, ever the only one that these people, they will lie so much to you to get you addicted, to try to get you addicted to the trauma bond of which they are trying to manifest in your life, and just see it for what it is, and try to really listen to your voice, inner intuition.